So tell me about the different rider modes and how you select them on the dash, please, Mike.
Right, I keep getting asked about the BM Dash and how you select rider modes and so on, what the rider modes mean. So this is a quick kind of crash course in the rider mode. You've got the screen now. This is your typical normal sort of standard road screen. And then when you want to alter the screen itself or the settings that you want to come in, if you look at the handlebar here, when you get into the menu, to scroll up and down the pages and the lines in the menu, you use rotate this, and then to change pages, you flick the thing from side to side. And that's one of the reasons why I put this zip tie there, because when you're riding around sometimes, you can inadvertently end up knocking it with your hand and you change the screen. So I put that there really just to keep my hand away from that so I don't knock the settings or change the screen or whatever. But if
the basic screen, when you turn it on, what's that look like?
Well, that's the basic screen, and if you want to, that's as it were the road screen. So if you want to change it now to have use some of the, you quickly go across to sport, scroll across to sport, and then go down into the menu, and this is as it were your performance screens. You've got 3 to choose from. This is the one I currently use because you've got your traction control over this side, obviously your tachometer, what your traction is set at, your miles per hour should you need it. This tells you I'm in race promo 1, and we'll come to that in a minute. This is best lap that you've done out of all the sessions, and then this little box here is when you're on a lap, if you're behind, i.e. you're losing time, it'll go minus or plus, depending on whether you're up or down on your actual lap time, so you can sort of charge a bit more. And this is the actual running lap of what you've got now. Now you can change the screen if you want to go to the next screen, which is this one, which is a bar type tacho. You've still got your DTC, which is your traction there. This is your lap times down the bottom. And on this one, you've got a lean sensor, so you can see what angle of lean, which is okay if you've got a camera on the bike, a bit useless when you're riding around because you haven't got time to kind of look down at it.
So where's the brake pressure or the decelerometer now that you've got a light?
It's on the first of those screens. The first of those screens, this has got again a slightly larger version of your bank or your lean angle sensor. You've got your traction control here, and this is your decelerometer. I initially thought it was a brake pressure thing, but it's not. It's actually how quickly that you're slowing down. It's a bit like a pressure sensor in a sense though.
So does that mean you can't have your brake pressure sensor and your lap times on the screen at the same time?
You can't, no. You have to. That's the closest you get to it. You can, if you're running data, 2D data, which I've got, you can actually more accurately look at it later on the data screen itself. Now, the one thing about the BM is you can have set up on the handlebar here, you've got a mode button, and you can scroll through this while you're riding along, and you can change it. I've got Race Pro Mode 1, 2 and 3, and the beauty of that is, if we go to those quickly, and if you scroll across to settings, go down into settings, vehicle settings, go to the next page. This is your driver mode you're selecting, and then these are your Race Pro Mode 1, 2 and 3. Now if we go into Race Pro Mode 1 to start off with, you go down to configure. That's the thing, you go down to configure the 2, and then these are your Race Pro Mode 1, 2 and 3. Now the individual features here, this is how the engine responds. This is basically how it feels on the throttle. When it's low like this is in a low setting, it's very sharp, picks up really quickly. I've got Race Pro Mode 2 with the same setting and Race Pro Mode 3 with a slightly softer setting. Engine braking, I've got the engine braking at the moment set differently. I've got maximum engine braking and Race Pro Mode 1 because there's a lot of slow corners here. I want to get the bike stopped going into the corners. And in Race Pro Mode 2, slightly less, and the same in Race Pro Mode 3. And essentially what you can do is you can set up each of these Race Pro Modes 1, 2 and 3. You can have various settings, or you can have them all the same apart from one specific thing that you're trying. Let's say engine braking, you could try it on with, engine braking with maximum, little bit, or you can sort of take it off. And while you're riding round, you can scroll through your mode button, and then you can actually try and see how these individually feel, which is a really handy feature. And if you want to alter them, you're using your scrolling bar, you quickly click over, and then these are the individual. This is how the engine, this is for torque and response throttle. Now if you rotate the grip round, if you go into it first of all, rotate the grip round, you can see how you can alter it to change. It softens the response. This is 5 is for like if you've been in a rain mode. It softens the throttle if you're in slightly iffy conditions, and then you can back it off all the time. I like it quite sharp, so it's the little dots on it now, so I've got it set in that mode. We come back out of it, and then you can drop to engine braking. As you can see there, I've got it set on 3, and you can alter it the same.
Show me the dot thing again that you just pointed out at the end.
If you go into it, the dot tells you it's actually that's selected. As soon as you rotate it round and you change, it disappears, and then when it's disappeared, let's say you wanted it to go on to 1, you flick your button over to the left and it sets it.
Okay.
So if I want to change it again back to maximum engine braking, then flick it again and the dot comes up.
Okay.
So you can set up all of these, or with the wheelie control, your ABS, your suspension settings, and you can flick into them and change them. The front you can only change the setting, the compression and rebound, they're like a matched pair. It's not until you put the external dash pot on where you can separate, like on the rear, you can have compression and rebound. You can actually alter them individually. On the front fork, that you have to do them together without the upgrade. And if you do get in a real pickle with all of this, basically the bike out the box comes with factory settings, and right at the last thing at the bottom here is reset button, and you can flick this over and it says it will set them back to factory settings, and you either reset them or you don't, and I don't want them setting, so I kind of leave them as they are.
Can you tell me that thing about where when you've made a setting you have to turn it off and put it on the side stand, or turn it back? What's that?
When you've altered the suspension settings, your DDC, when you've altered that, you then have to come out of this. Let's see if I can find it. And you drop down your DTC calibration at the bottom here. Okay. Now this is important that you do it, otherwise it won't actually set it.
Oh, so you could do all the changes to the settings, but if you don't do this, it doesn't matter, it won't save it.
It doesn't save it. So what you have, when you're doing DTC, you have to put the bike on the side stand.
Does it tell you to do it?
It tells you to do it.
Can you show me, please?
If you flick into it, to calibrate, park the bike motorcycle in its side stand and dismount, and then you go into start, flick it across to start, and it runs through a process and then tells you calibration complete. Obviously I've not altered anything, so I don't actually need to do it. So the menu system can be a little bit daunting at first, but what I suggest to do is try it and get used to the idea of jumping in and out of things and having a go at the setting. But at the back of your mind, always remember you have got, at the end of the day, that factory reset, which kind of gets you back to a level playing field.
So it's at the bottom of driving mode pre-selection, is it?
It's at the bottom here.
Oh, so if you pick one.
If you go into it, right at the bottom of this is your factory reset, so you can set Race Pro Mode 1 back to a factory setting, and then you come back into Race Pro Mode. Because of course BMW have spent millions of euros and thousands and millions of man hours to set it up. The factory settings is a really good datum line, a good starting point to work from, and it genuinely is a really good place to start your riding or your exploration of this system. And it's quite important when you come, it's not only changing conditions that you might want to mess about with your settings, it's also as you've changed the tyres. Let's say you've used a set of tyres and you've done, say, maybe a track day or so, and the tyres are sort of getting towards the end of their life, but they've still got a bit of life left in them. And the tyre's kind of lost its best. Well, you sometimes have to soften the bike up a little bit to get the best maximum drive out of it. But of course, then you fit a new tyre, and then you've got loads of grip, and then you can start to wind off your traction and alter your settings to get the best out of the tyre. and as the tyre starts to fall away again, once again alter. So don't think that the one setting you do is set it and leave it. You sometimes will and need to have to change it. So get used to playing about with it. Remember, you've got your factory settings, and enjoy fiddling.